We're about to see the position that is going to be crucial in understanding for us the power of opposition and corresponding squares. In this case, this is white's move, and white obviously wants to advance the king. So the question is, where should white go? If white chooses the square on f5, trying to penetrate through g6, black is going to respond in kind, playing king f7, creating the opposition. As king goes to e5, black retreats to f8. King goes to e6, king goes to e8. So white has no way to penetrate. If the pawn goes forward, king goes to f8, well, now it's too late. This is going to be a draw. King goes to f6, and that is it. This is a stalemate. But easily enough, if white actually just chooses king e5 in this position, black is going to be losing. King goes to f7, we go to f5 and penetrate through g6, win the pawn right there, push the other forward, and this is going to be it for black. So king e5, king e8 is losing because we're going to push forward. That's an opposition right here when the king is facing the other king across one square. King goes to f8, push the pawn forward now. You got to be careful about this move to make sure that you're actually winning. And in this case, we can easily see that white is promoting and finishing the game right there. But wait a second. In this position, we play f8 and promote to a queen. That's going to be a stalemate. So what's the conclusion here? What is it that we got to do for white? Well, we can promote and promote to a rook, bishop, or a knight. Either one of those is actually going to win the game. But the best move in chess is a lot of times a checkmate. Now we don't have a checkmate here, but if you play king f6, that's going to save us some time. King goes to f6, king goes to h8. That's the only move. And at this point, we're going to actually promote to a queen and checkmate black's king right there on g7. Now we're going to change the position just a little bit. So we're going to move the king from f8 to e8. So what difference does it make? Well, let's try to win for white now. So let's try a similar motion right here. Because we know if we play king f5, black is going to play king f7. So at this point, black is going to resist. Now if we play king e5, if king f7 is played, we're winning easily with king f5 and the similar maneuver that we examined before. King goes to f8. That's the correct idea. So now if we go king f5, king f7, if king e6, then black assumes opposition. We push forward, king f8. And once again, this is too late. This is going to be a draw. King goes to f6, and this is a stalemate. If white chooses to sacrifice the pawn, there will be no winning chances, since this pawn is never going to win, even if white picks up the pawn on h6. Assuming that black's king is in front of white's king. So we got this position, so how is white supposed to win? Whatever moves we make, black is creating opposition. We go to e5, black goes to f8, and it's hard to break through. So here's where the concept of triangulation comes handy. And the concept is such that actually what we want to do is give the turn of move to our opponent so our opponent can put himself in a position of losing the game. So in this case, we're going to play king f4, wasting tempo. Black goes to e8, and we're going to go to e4. So what's the secret here? Well, now if black goes to f7, we're going to meet him with king f5 and going to penetrate, win the pawn on h6. That's easy enough. King f8, king g6, pick up the pawn, come back, push the other pawn forward. If king goes to f8 now, as we continue this maneuver all around, all of a sudden we get the position that we looked at before, which is winning for white. So king goes to g8, we're going to play king e6. King goes to f8, we're going to push the pawn forward, gain space, promote. King goes to f7, once again king f5, king goes to e8, play king e6, and we're going to assume opposition, push the pawn forward on the next move, and promote.